I still call myself Big U to this day. And it's a reason why I do that. Because I wanted people to see that it wasn't the name that it was the problem. It was the decisions that this ignorant person was making.
Willie D Live.
I was looking at, and I'm switching subjects again. I was looking at, if you go back to the NAFTA agreement. So in my era of selling drugs, which goes back to the 80s, we really didn't deal with the Mexicans as much as they deal with the Mexicans now. When they started the NAFTA agreement, after 84, 88, drugs was mainly started coming in through Mexico. Before that, drugs came in from the port. So most of our drugs came in through Colombia, through the Panama Canal, and it would get through the water. So he was coming over here. So all the heroin came in through the water, all of that came in. And then at some point, when they started dealing with Mexico, all the drugs started coming in actually through Mexico, which started making different places like here, Texas, Arizona, and all of them are connections for major drug trade. But in the early 80s, it came in through the ports. So we didn't really deal with the Hispanics or Mexicans that's coming out like we did now. It was really basically the white boys, the people in authority in LA who really had the connections to the ports.
The gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers. And that changed. And then when you seen that change happen, you seen the rise of the Mexican cartel, you seen the rise of the Mexican mafia, you seen the rise of all of that. And because, like I say, early era, all the G's, they really didn't have to go through Mexico or deal with that. It was basically coming through the ports.
You were locked up, you got locked up in 91, right?
Yeah, I got locked in 91.
Okay, so 91, they snatched you up in 91. 92, you got the L.A. riots.
Yeah, I was sitting in the county jail.
You're locked up during the L.A. riots. I remember everything about the L.A. riots.
Right.
Because, boy, I wanted a piece of that action bad.
Right.
I'm talking about. I really did, because it was going on around here, too. It was all over the United States. They've been doing this forever, beating us up, getting away with it, doing whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I talked to you off camera about some other things, but I really wanted some action. I was really, really advocating,
Right.
But I remember explicitly the gangs coming together. I remember that moment.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, these dirty bastards are going to try to do something to break the truce.
They're doing it now.
Because they don't want the gangs to come together. They don't want the people to come together. They don't want a harmonious society. They need us to behave uncivilized towards one another. They need us to maim and kill one another so that they can justify their mistreatment of us, and so that they can get the scraps and get the money and rob us and kill us, and so they can continue to be able to do the things that they do to get over on us. So they need us at war against one another. And
Facts.
Sure enough, you had the Truce, you had the songs and the album that was made and all that type of stuff. And then after a little peace, then the war started again, and that is because the LAPD initiated, not just LAPD, LA County law enforcement, all throughout they all played a hand in it. And what really runs me hot is that how they treat us, and we allow them to get away with it. But when we look at each other, we can look at each other. We ain't got to look at each other. We can just kill each other just because we feel like killing on that day. We just feel like killing something. So we just see somebody that look like us and we down them. These people come through our neighborhoods. They shit on us. They disrespect our mothers and our fathers, our grandparents. They body slam our daughters. They beat up our brothers. They call our women, bitches, and hoes, and whatever they want to do, and we give them this magical pass that nobody should ever get. But then when it's one of our own, for little or nothing, we will actually take life
Right.
like that. And this part I cannot get with. I do not understand that for the life of me, because in my mind, an enemy is an enemy. A violation is a violation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who committed the violation. A violation is a violation. And if my mind takes me there, I do not see color. I do not see status. I do not see
Right.
I do not see position. I don't see none of that. I see red. That's what I see.
Well, you know, I deal with that on a regular basis. Like I said, look at what the internet is and where we are right now with the internet. But traveling back there, LA has seen a lot of changes. And we were probably the epitome of that dogma on us harming us and not even seeing color line. Like, take me for instance. It took me, and it took what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was teaching in the Nation of Islam to make me be able to understand what you're saying, to be able to receive it, to have see what a problem I was. Because I can't even talk about nobody else without talking about what a problem I was. And that takes me in the reason why I still call myself Big U to this day. And it's a reason why I do that. Because I wanted people to see that it wasn't the name that it was the problem. It was the decisions that this ignorant person was making. So to see that I can take that name and make that name mean something different, it shows the growth, the natural growth that a man is supposed to make, from being an ignorant boy to being a man, to now being able to say, this is what these people used to do in our neighborhood that kept us down. But where did that come from, and how is that? That goes back to the beginning. That goes back to slavery. The first thing we heard from our mothers and fathers, unbeknownst to them knowing what they stealing in us, is you can't trust a nigga. Don't take your car to this nigga. Don't trust this nigga to cook your food. Don't trust this nigga to do. We instilled that in us.